It's no secret, I've said it dozens of times on the channel, the world drop weapons are some of my favorite weapons in the entire game, from Ogma to Rasarago, Battlescar to Psyhermetic, Heliocentric, because most of the time they have something special, very unique, and all the ones I just mentioned do. Controlled vision is no different, and it's also going to depend on your playstyle, what you like to do. There was one combination I wanted to try more than anything, and I got it, and it's definitely not what you think that it is. I'm a stat nerd, I'm a perk nerd, so it's really cool to me and it performs. But in the end, with what I want to talk about today, just like with all things Destiny, it is role dependent. This weapon is role dependent, so I want you to look for certain things. It's a beast, it really is. I'm going to talk about why, but first, today's video is brought to you by a longtime partner of the channel, Ridge, and they have a huge announcement. They put together one of the biggest sweepstakes I've ever seen. You could win a Hennessy Velociraptor, a gold-plated Cybertruck, or if those aren't your thing, $100,000 in cash. The sweepstakes is going on from right now through September 13th, and the best part, you can get entries for free. You can earn entries by signing up through email, SMS, and there's some other options. And on the website, for every dollar you spend, you get one entry. If you purchase the Cyber Wallet or Hennessy Specialty products, they're going to give you 4 times the entries. I've been using Ridge for years and I love it. I'm never going back to a regular wallet. And remember, there's a 99-day trial and a lifetime warranty. And thanks again to Ridge for being a great partner to the channel. Go to ridge.com/CoolGuy by using the link down below at the top of the description or in the pinned comment. And that's ridge.com/CoolGuy. Go get yourself a new wallet and maybe go get yourself a new truck. Good luck. It's a world drop, meaning randomly. After an activity on the ground, randomly. The world drop loot pool is by far the hardest loot pool to focus, because you can't. It's all luck. And not only when you're trying to get these new ones, you get the old world drops instead. So they're tough. It's an old dead orbit weapon. If you know, you know.
A piece of dead orbit. Treasure it.
It comes in as a kinetic adaptive frame, and likewise weapons from that frame, Drang, Buzzard, Allied Demand, Keening, and when you compare the stats, you might think, 30 range, I don't know. But a couple things to remember about sidearms. The range on these things are gained in peanuts, because they have them clamped. The 30 base range starts out at 14.6 meters. If you were to double the range to 60, it goes to 16.08, so 1.48 meters gained by doubling the base range. So Drang having 5 more base range, not that big a deal. I will say this though, remember a couple things. One, sidearms have one of the worst, if not the worst, aim assist fall-offs in the game. Meaning that once you start getting fall-off, they start losing rotation and aim assist. They lose a ton, like M&K or controller, doesn't matter. But with that, they're all kind of right there, that 13 to 17 meter range for the most part. And 2, they're spam weapons. You find target, you spam the trigger, they drop. They're not really precision weapons. When you hit crits, of course, it's a lot better, but their TTKs are very fast within their space because you can spam them. So let's dive into it. Column 3, Fragile Focus. Obviously great for it. And it got better not too long ago. You get plus 20 range until your shields are destroyed. And that plus 20 range returns once you regenerate your shield. Comes back 1 second after that shield regen, but only half a second, 0.5 if you have it enhanced. Again, this is almost doubling its range. If this rolls for you in the third, it's a good pick. Surplus, it is never bad unless you're an ability spammer. If you are, shame on you. But a max stack is 25 stability, 60 handling, 60 reload, and still has good bonuses for a 1 or a 2 stack. But just from base, if you do have max stacks, it goes to 85 stability, 93 handling, 83 reload. Really good perk for it. It enhances even more. It's another perk that's welcomed if it drops for you in the third. We have Air Assault. So this really works on this weapon. You've been seeing the gameplay at times, I am in the air. I do have a roll with Air Assault. It passively grants 10 AE. It can max out at 2 stacks. Each stack grants 30 AE. So this thing has 12 AE starting off. It gives 70 AE at max stack, so 82. And you add on Icarus, it goes to 97 AE. You also have In-Flight for plus 15 on your helmet, so right around 100 AE, which is great. Sidearms are great from the air. All sidearms are. This one's no different. They're very useful in that space. And I prefer it at times in certain areas. So yeah, Air Assault, not a throwaway on this thing. Slideways is fine, it's great. You slide, you get some handling, stability, refill the mag. And so far, nothing really bad in the third when it drops. We have Slick Draw, you get a ton of handling. Max handling, 100, but you get target acquisition penalties. And again, these lose aim assist a little bit sooner than most weapons, so it can be felt, but it's a sidearm. It's a spam weapon, it works. You're gonna be that 16 meters in, it's gonna be fine. In the sweet spot, it's gonna perform. But then we have Encore. I love the perk on any weapon, and this is one half of the combo I wanted to try, and I only wanted that combo for one reason. Final blows, you get stacks of stability, range, and accuracy. And accuracy is huge. The max stack is 20 range, 32 stability. And on its own, that's great. It's not the first pick here. It needs a pairing, and I'm going to talk about that later. In the final column, under pressure, stability and accuracy at the bottom half. It's a great perk for it. High ground, very cool for this thing to have high ground. A recent change, if you're above them, 1 meter above them, you're on a flat surface, you hit them once, it goes to max stacks times 3. And what's weird about this perk, it doesn't go to times 1 in PvP. After you get a kill, it goes to times 2. If you get another kill, it goes to times ×3. And again, it goes immediately to ×3 if you're on the high ground. The damage bonus, we have the base 58 damage that it deals. A ×2 is 64, and ×3 is 67 to the head. So 10% more and 15% more. There's not too much of a difference between a 2 and a 3 stack, really. But some things about this perk. High ground isn't on too many close quarters weapons, like at all. It's on a shotgun, Retrofuturist. Good luck with that. This is the only sidearm, and it's been historically on autos, pulses, scouts, nothing like this. So things to know, there is a bug with high ground. For the perk, you need to be grounded and above them to get the damage buff. While in air, it doesn't work, or at least it isn't supposed to work. But if you do a single ability jump, so more than just a tap jump, not high at all, it gets the 3 times damage. It gets to high ground 3, which are the 67s. And this is different because it's only while in the air. With this perk, you're going to see it at the bottom of the screen, high ground 2, high ground 3, whatever. You don't see that when you're up in the air. You just get the damage, and it doesn't extend once you hit the ground. While you're a good distance in the air, you do get the ×3 damage with this thing. You can use and abuse that. It's great for Hunter, Stompy Hunter, a Power Fluffle from Warlock or Titan. Just get above them, and the damage is going to be there. But a lot of the times, just using it at base, just be chilling on a slightly higher object. You get 1 bullet on an enemy, and you go. And with the sidearm, that's what I do. I get a little bit higher, get a bullet. The perk lasts for 7 seconds. It's got a long duration. So within that 7 seconds, you try to get a kill and it refreshes it and you still have ×3. These have a 0.6 base TTK, the Dragon TTK. It's always great. You need 4 crits to do that. With high ground, you can 3 crit 1 body. That's the ×3 stack. There is no TTK shift, but remember, these are spam weapons, so adding in a body shot for that TTK is a good thing. It's huge for it. And the best part, if you just run around and use this, get a kill, go to high ground 2, it's the same thing. It's a 3 crit 1 body. So ×3 isn't necessary. It just has a very easy perk trigger that you can abuse. Moving on to Osmosis, look. You do you. PvE-wise, maybe you want this thing to have unravel rounds or volatile rounds, whatever. If that's your thing, go right ahead. Threat Detector, not bad at all. You're always going to be at a ×1, 15 meters it in most of the time. And if you pair this with something like Surplus, this thing can get 100 handling, 100 stability, 100 reload. No issues with that. Surrounded, PvE, sure, why not? If that is appealing to you, if it drops. Sidearms are on the artifact, it can work. It's kinetic, helpful with prismatic, 40% more damage when 3 or more enemies are 15 meters and in. Can you get it to work in the Crucible? Yeah, don't count on it though. If you do, you're rewarded. It's a 3 crit for a 0.4 TTK. At tier 6 and below, you can 2 crit 1 body. It's a 3 bullet kill. And the final perk is Offhand Strike. After a kill, you get more range and accuracy when firing from the hip. So you get 30 stability, 45% increased fall off distance. It's one of the very few perks in the game that goes past intended fall off. The other one's killing wind. And 45% is no joke. This thing can get up to 20 meters from the hip. But here's what's cool. You also get 95% accuracy cone size and 95% accuracy cone growth, which is a huge accuracy bonus. Massive. The best in the game. The combo that I wanted was Encore Offhand Strike. I said it at the start. I love hip firing these things when applicable. I love being from the air when applicable. This is the only sidearm with this role. With kills, Encore is adding range and stability and accuracy. When Offhand Strike is up, it's adding stability and a ton of accuracy. We have this 95% decreased accuracy cone growth and size. And then Encore's adding in every kill 1.25% accuracy cone size with each stack. It is so fun to use. Being from the air, going in at ADS, just hip firing in general. And remember, you are very fast non-aim down sights. When you're firing from the hip, you're very fast. I've gotten duels and people just miss me because the strafe is so fast. And you're just spamming them down. No big deal. This is the only 300 like this. And the only other sidearms that have Offhand Strike is a Rocket Sidearm, Kindness, and a couple 450s, Fioratura and Michaels. That's the Strand and Void one. With how I like to use sidearms, it's been so good to me. I'm also a stat nerd, a perk nerd. We haven't seen this combination on a sidearm, and that double accuracy, pretty much having pure 100% accuracy, is really good on it. So what do you look for? It is RNG. It's RNG to even get the thing. So if you get a drop in the first place, that's a W. When looking over it, the Barrel Maggot Masterwork, it is what it is. We don't care. There's no need to be strict on those. You're gonna stat best available. All third column perks are great. Encore's gonna be your last pick unless you get Offhand, because that's the pairing for it. But in the fourth, be looking for High Ground or a Offhand Strike. Like if you get Surplus Offhand, why not? Those are the difference makers on this weapon and what makes it shine, what makes it different. 300 with these perks. Because other sidearms, I mean, they have Kill Clip, they have other good things. Those two things on this frame are the outlier. PvE-wise, you have better sidearms. I know you have better sidearms. You know you have better sidearms. But if an Osmosis roll, a Surrounded roll gets your attention, go for it. If it drops for you and you can fit it in and it's going to work, sidearms also stun champions, go right ahead. And I'm a bit of a sidearm connoisseur myself. I use them a good amount, over 60,000 kills with them. I use all weapons. I do because of how I do my reviews. But in this meta, this special ammo meta, how it's going, sidearms are more in play now than they have been in a while because there's nothing like rushing people down that don't have special ammo. know. Like, what are they going to do? And I found, you don't see any in this gameplay, a lot of people's main instincts is to melee you. So I've been running feedback every now and again. I've been running liars with Hunter. Like, it just works. If or when this thing drops, look for those special things. Try them out. The worst thing that happens, you don't like them. There's nothing wrong with that. The game is always about variety, feel, and what you are deadly with, what works for you. This thing works for me and how I play sidearms. It's really, really fun. There's some roles that I deleted. I tried and I deleted. Some of the ones that I kept, I mean, there's Fragile Focus High Ground, Surplus High Ground, Air Assault High Ground, then of course the one I really wanted, Encore Offhand Strike. And a lot of people aren't gonna have that luxury to keep trying different roles to see what works. They all can and do work. And I forgot to mention, another reason why I like that Encore Offhand role so much is they're both a chaining perk and they both last 7 seconds. So you get a kill as you do with the sidearm. Then for 7 seconds, you have those up and you can extend them. It's a beast. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. And thanks again to Ridge for sponsoring today's video. Enter the sweepstakes, even with the free routes. And true story, back in the day when Halo 3 came out, I don't know if you guys remember this, they were having a sweepstakes. I did some free entries, and it was with Mountain Dew. They were doing the Halo 3 sweepstakes. And I straight up won a Mountain Dew Halo 3 headset out of nowhere. And I have it around here somewhere. I have to look for it. But things like that are worth a shot, so why not? Good luck. Let's talk about controlling vision. What are your thoughts? Are there any roles that you're liking? Tell us about it. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.